October 31st is right around the corner. So today we're going to talk about
10 horror movies that are perfect to watch on Halloween night.
Whoa! Is the ghost pirate haunting my house?
That's right, buddy. It's me, Kainan from Ghost Pirate Entertainment, and I'm going to add my picks for Halloween movies that I highly recommend.
Wow, I can't believe that summoning ritual really worked. Well, this is going to be awesome and a little scary. So my name is Daniel with the Cobwebs channel, and let's get started.
And right now,
manipulating
these stories and more.
Out There Halloween Mega Tape from 2022. So this is a sequel to the WNUF Halloween special, which I love. It's super fun. And man, I've been wanting to see this one for quite some time, but it just got released on physical media, so I was finally able to see it. And I enjoyed it so much. While the first one was 80s nostalgia that focused on a haunted house, this one is set in the 90s and follows a paranormal research show investigating a farmstead with a long history of alien encounters. Just like the first one, it feels like local TV that is recorded onto a VHS tape, a live broadcast on Halloween night. It's packed with commercials. In the first movie, commercials were hilarious. They were such a big source of the fun. They might be even better here. There are so many fun gags, and as somebody who's more familiar with 90s commercials than 80s commercials, I got a particular kick out of these, just seeing how accurate they are. My favorite gag in the movie is it periodically cutting back to fictional cult icon Reed Richmond, who's just like this kind of dorky old guy in a tux who's giving out sci-fi movie facts, and they're so ridiculous and they're so funny every time. It's absolute gold. While most of the fun in this movie, like the original, is found in the gags, the laughs you'll have with the rest of the people that you're watching this with. If you do watch this with a group, which is how I recommend it, I did enjoy the story here. The first one was a pretty good haunted house investigation thing. This one being all about aliens. And I don't associate aliens and alien abduction with the Halloween season quite as much, but I probably should because there's some really fun alien stuff in here. I love the vibes of it, and it all leads to an ending that is a crazy, bonkers gut punch. I can't recommend it enough. This thing is still not available on streaming, unfortunately, but I got the Blu-ray from TerrorVision, and Walmart's actually currently selling a double feature Blu-ray with this and the first one. That is a great deal if you can find it.
Everybody dies. I didn't sign on for second degree assault party.
Murder Party is a 2007 dark comedy horror movie, written, directed, and shot by Jeremy Solner. It stars Chris Sharp, Sandy Burnett, and Macon Blair. A man gets a random invitation to a Halloween party, and when he arrives, he finds out he is the guest of honor at his very own gut-wrenching murder.
Think beyond splattering blood on canvas. When our masterpiece is complete, and the coroner's report is back in, it will read the cause of death.
This is a real gem, one that is very much under the radar. And there's so much talent involved in this movie, including Jeremy Solner, who did this before he did Blue Ruin and Green Room, which is my favorite one of his. You also have Macon Blair, who recently directed the new Toxic Avenger reimagining, which is a blast. If you haven't seen that, I definitely recommend that one as well. But this is a very grimy, gritty, low-budget film, but it's hilarious and also gory, brutal, violent, twisted dark humor at its best. And it's a great ride. It's entertaining and fun and weird, and I think it's a perfect movie to watch for Halloween.
You heard that right?
House LLC from 2015. 5 years after an unexplained malfunction causes the death of 15 tour goers and staff on the opening night of a haunted house tour, a documentary crew travels back to the scene of the tragedy to find out what really happened. There have been a lot of horror movies in recent years about haunted house attractions, and there actually being scary stuff in here that poses a real threat. Of all of them, this might be the most classic one at this point. It's gotta be at least the one that spawned the biggest franchise. There are a lot of sequels to this thing, but I just recently rewatched it, and Hell House holds up. It is a really solid found footage movie that is a little bit of a mix of mockumentary and found footage, but it's mostly standard found footage kind of stuff. But I think it works. I think the characters are likable and interesting enough. Even the obnoxious horn dog cameraman that's pretty standard for these movies is a fun character. He also looks just like the lead singer of Camp. God, I love Camp. What a great band. The atmosphere is terrific, taking place in an old rundown hotel with a dark history inside as our characters are building a haunted house. That's another thing that makes this a little bit unique. It's not just about a haunted house attraction that people go to. It's about the process of building the haunted house. And as somebody who loves haunted house attractions, I got to go to one this year for the first time since my son was born, and that was such a treat. I just love the experience of watching people put it together behind the scenes. That's a special kind of fun all on its own. But with that atmosphere comes some fantastic scares, some super creepy backstory about what's really going on there, entities turning things within the house to life, particularly some clowns. And this clown has got to be one of the scariest clowns of all time. Ultimately, it is a pretty standard story, but the way it handles myth building and building up your anticipation around truly horrifying things have happened in the past are going to happen now. So I still think House LLC is a really good movie to watch on Halloween if you actually want to get scared.
Everybody loves popcorn.
31 is a 2016 horror movie. Produced, written, and directed by Rob Zombie. It stars Sherry Moon Zombie, Jeff Daniel Phillips, and Richard Brake. 5 carnival workers are kidnapped the night before Halloween and held hostage in a large compound, forced to play a twisted game of life or death called 31.
I'm not here to brighten your dismal day. I am here to end your miserable life.
This is such a dirty, grimy, gritty, but really fun movie. It kind of gets a bad rap, but it's one of those that I think either Rob Zombie's style of movies works for you or it doesn't. Because all his movies kind of pay homage to that 1970s exploitation era in movies. But I really enjoy that gritty style about how he makes film. But because of that, this movie has never gotten the attention that I think it deserves, because it'll make you uncomfortable. It'll make you squirm in your seat, but it's also entertaining in that dark, twisted, bleak way that only Rob Zombie can make movies feel. This also has a great score, the costume designs, the look and style of it, as well as the gore effects. Everything in this makes you feel like you need to take a shower, but in the best way possible. But if you're in the mood for something gritty and twisted this Halloween, this one's a fantastic pick.
Man, Ghost Pirate, you are bringing the heat. That 31 is a disturbing movie. Let me lighten the mood a little bit. Let's talk about The Midnight Hour from 1985.
Come heed my bidding on this night of nights, the eve of Samhain, All Hallows Eve.
This takes place in Pitchford Cove, Massachusetts, a town with a history of witch executions. It's about some teens who end up conducting a ritual in a graveyard that unleashes a curse involving zombies, witches, vampires, werewolves, and more upon the town. So this is a TV movie from the 80s that has long been way too unavailable. I think due to the incredible soundtrack, there's some rights issues. But I first saw this because my dad enjoyed it back in the day and he showed it to me. And it is so much fun. It's almost like an ultimate Halloween movie. I love the town that it takes place in, this small New England town that is obsessed with Halloween. There's so many Halloween decorations everywhere. There's all this lore and dark backstories to the town about witches. Oh, it's so good. I love all this stuff. And just the idea of teens conducting a ritual in a graveyard, like that's what we should all be doing on Halloween night. I think we can all agree. Surely Ghost Pirate can. The characters, the cast are almost shockingly great. Like you've got a young LeVar Burton in here, Sherry Belafonte, Harry Belafonte's daughter. But I really like the lead guy played by Lee Montgomery, this kind of nerdy dude who's looking for love, first with Dee Dee Pfeiffer from Vamp, but he ends up meeting this ghost girl from the 1950s that comes out of the graveyard. And there's actually this really sweet romance in there that's just a really nice heart for the movie. I think it works beautifully. The Midnight Hour is fun, energetic, funny, actually delivers with the horror with some fantastic zombie makeup and werewolves, like so much good stuff. Like I said, it's kind of hard to get a hold of, but last I checked, it's here on YouTube and actually really good quality, and it's a fantastic pick.
VHS Halloween is a 2025 found footage anthology horror movie. It's the 8th installment in the VHS franchise, with segments directed by Brian M. Ferguson, Casper Kelly, Michelin Pitt Norman, R.H. Norman, Alex Rose Perry, Paco Plaza, and Anna Zakovic. A collection of Halloween-themed videotapes unleashes a series of twisted, blood-soaked tales, turning Trick or Treat into a struggle for survival.
Hello?
I love the VHS franchise. As far as found footage goes, it's up there. I love the fact that each one is all these different filmmakers. We've really seen a lot of who's who in the horror industry get their start by making one of the segments in a VHS movie. Because every year when one of these gets released, it's fun to see what filmmakers could be the next on the horizon. Like, you'll see some of these and they're just such a standout right away. You're like, okay, I need to pay attention to that filmmaker because they're definitely going to go on to do special things. And this film is no exception. There is a few of these that are really standouts to me. Like any anthology movie, you're going to have some that are stronger than others. But I think even the weakest ones this year are still entertaining. I just think that the VHS style of movie is perfectly suited for Halloween, because it just fits so well into that niche of what we love about Halloween, with the traditions, the lore, the different type of spooky elements that you can infuse into this. This just takes it and runs with it. And for me anyway, this is one of my favorites of all of the VHS movies, because for one, I love Halloween. It's my favorite time of year. But then for two, I love gore effects. I love the weird costumes and things like that, as well as a twisted, sick sense of humor. And there's a lot of that in all the different segments in this. But some of the segments are also really dark and twisted and a lot more bleak and demented than I was expecting. And so basically, there is something for everyone in this movie. So if you're looking for something for Halloween to watch that is just soaked, just dripping in the Halloween vibe, this is a great pick.
Oh no.
Hubie Halloween from 2020. So this follows Huey Dubois. Despite his devotion to his hometown of Salem and self-appointed position as the official Halloween helper, is a figure of mockery for kids and adults alike. But this year, something really is going bump in the night, and it's up to Hubie to save Halloween. It's actually kind of crazy that I've never talked about this movie on YouTube before. Now is the time. I actually really like Adam Sandler. I don't think most of his movies are very good, and I haven't watched most of his recent Netflix fare, but as a person, as an actor, I find him really likable, and I just enjoy watching this guy in movies. And this is a film that when I first saw it, I was like, okay, that's fun, great atmosphere, but it's a little too stupid. Upon rewatch, and another rewatch, and this has become like an annual Halloween rewatch kind of movie, I've just grown so much affection for its stupidity and all. This is really like a really dumb Christmas comedy. It just takes place at Halloween instead of Christmas. But oh my god, the atmosphere is out of this world. It was actually shot in Salem, Massachusetts, and it's got every Halloween activity you could possibly want to see. A Halloween party, a corn maze, a drive-in theater showing classic scary movies, a graveyard, a haunted house attraction, whatever you want to do on Halloween night, whatever kind of thing you could be interested in. This movie's got that. But even beyond the activities, I mean, it's got an escaped killer that mirrors Halloween, Michael Myers. It's got a werewolf, sort of. It's just got a lot of fun, spooky stuff in there, and even some murders. And the resolution to the murder plot line is like one of the funniest things I've seen in a recent comedy. The soundtrack is great, packed with fun Halloween bops. You know, actually, the first time I saw this movie, my biggest problem was Julie Bowen as Adam Sandler's love interest. And it's because she's such a ridiculous character. Like, she's really, really silly. But now I actually appreciate that she's not just the disapproving wife character that so many Adam Sandler movies have, and she gets to be fun, silly, zany, and wacko. I actually appreciate that. I think she does a really good job.
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat is a 1987 supernatural horror movie. Directed by Charles Martin Smith in his directorial debut, it stars Mark Price, Tony Fields, and Lisa Orgolini. A teenage boy is devastated after the death of his heavy metal idol, but as Halloween night approaches, he discovers that he may be the only one who can stop him from making a satanic comeback from beyond the grave.
It's body time!
So this is the lesser known Halloween horror movie called Trick or Treat. Instead of just an abbreviated R, this one is OR, Trick or Treat. But this is a really cool movie, especially for fans of metal like I am, because in my life, my two big loves have always been horror movies and metal music. Because before I started the Ghost Pirate channel, I was the singer in multiple metal bands. But this has got so much of that 1980s metal charm. There's even some great cameos in this, especially the Ozzy Osbourne cameo. It's fantastic. But this is a slick, well-written, entertaining horror movie that has a lot of fun surprises, twists and turns, things that you won't necessarily expect. It's also the kind of movie that doesn't take itself so serious that you can't have fun with it, while still having its moments of creepy, satanic horror fun. Unfortunately, over the years, this movie's been overshadowed by other cult classics from the 80s and other Halloween-related horror movies. So if you've never seen this, or if it's been a while, do yourself a favor and check it out.
Are you ready?
I can't arrest people for doing their job. Welcome to Hellfest.
Hellfest from 2018. On Halloween night at a horror theme park, a costumed killer begins slaying innocent patrons who believe it's all part of the festivities. Man, this has been such a favorite Halloween movie for me ever since it came out. And I remember when it came out in theaters, it was met with mostly bad reviews, like a lot of horror movies do if they're a simple, straightforward, kind of tried and true spooky story. I think when people go to the theaters, they expect something big and grand and epic. But now that people are watching it at home, I have noticed the tide turn on Hellfest so hard. And people tend to really enjoy it now, accepting it as just a good old-fashioned down and dirty slasher movie, and I think it works so well on that front. When I watch a slasher movie, I want characters I can actually enjoy spending time with, and I think Hellfest does that. It's got a good, relatable, audience surrogate kind of main character. She's got a cute romance in there that adds a little bit of tension, a guy she hasn't seen in a long time. She's got a fun, crazy friend, and they've got some more ridiculous friends coming along, and there end up being some really good laughs in there. But man, the atmosphere. Like, that's so important for whatever movie you're gonna watch on Halloween. You gotta have good atmosphere. And this takes place at a haunted house theme park. Like, not just going through a haunted house, it's a full theme park. It is awesome. There is so much cool Halloween, monster, spooky stuff everywhere you look. And so much of the film just feels like you're just going through this cool place with these characters. You're like part of the crew, and it's such a blast. The kills deliver. They are intense. They're creative. Not necessarily the most graphic, although this is still an R-rated slasher movie, but they're creative kills. I think maybe the only thing that slightly disappoints me about this is the killer doesn't have the best look, but I think the look is okay. And he's got some really subtle lore around him that's not truly explained, but is driven home by an ending that is truly chilling. I think Hellfest delivers in all the ways you want a Halloween slasher to, and I truly love it.
I'm ending this tonight.
It ain't over.
Dark Harvest is a 2023 fantasy horror movie. Directed by David Slade, it stars Casey Likes, Emery Crutchfield, Elizabeth Reeser, and Jeremy Davies. In a small Midwestern town, a deadly annual ritual unfolds when the mythical nightmare Sawtooth Jack rises from the cornfields and challenges the town's teenage boys to a bloody battle of survival.
It must die so we can live. Your sacred duty is to take down Sawtooth Jack before that church bell rings at midnight.
So I picked this one for my last pick, and it's because this has everything when it comes to movies I like to recommend. It's creepy, it's fun, it's interesting, entertaining. It's weird, it's creative, imaginative. It has this really amazing look and atmosphere and vibe overall to it. But it also completely flies under the radar. It's a real hidden gem at this point. Little by little, I've heard more and more people talking about this one, but I'm telling you, this eventually will have a cult following. It will be talked about with some of the other favorites for the Halloween season. Because that cold, crisp Halloween night, that ominous feeling is just so soaked into this movie. I love the way it conveys that. From the shadows and the creepiness, the lore and legend in this small town, the way it slowly unveils that, and then ultimately you get this awesome creature that's fun, but also creepy as hell. Because what makes a great Halloween night movie to me is a movie that not only is spooky and creepy and all those things, but there's gotta be an element of fun, adventurous quality about it, because it isn't just about getting creeped out and disturbed and all that. You gotta have fun with it. That's the big point for me with what movies I want to watch on Halloween night. So I think this movie is a perfect pick for Halloween night. So do yourself a favor, pick one of the movies I just gave you, and have a fantastic Halloween.
If you want to check any of these out for yourself, I do have streaming recommendations right here on the screen, but of course they're subject to change, so I also have physical media links in the description, and using those does help support my channel. Thank you so much, Ghost Pirate Entertainment, for haunting my house. I may have to bring in an exorcist later to take care of that. We'll see how that goes. Thank you to my viewers for watching this. Thank you to Ghost Pirates viewers for watching this, and please have a happy Halloween. We'll see you next time.